The Trump family is now taking part of its crypto empire public. That's the headline from Inc. magazine that dives into American Bitcoin, a mining firm launched by Eric Trump. It's set to merge with a publicly listed crypto company. It raises a lot of questions about influence, regulation, and the future of political involvement in the world of digital assets. Here to talk much more about it is the writer of that story, Sam Blum. He's senior writer at Inc. Sam, really appreciate your perspective here. So, man, oh man, when we talk about the intersection of the presidency with digital assets, the Trump family, like we could have this could be a 5-hour long podcast. I'm going to let you tell me where you want to start. What is most top of mind or shocking of these recent developments here to you?
Top of mind or shocking? I mean, where to begin? That's definitely a tough question. I mean, you could look back to even the 2024 campaign when, Trump's campaign marked a clear reversal from his previous stance on crypto, which he used to spurn and call a scam, and he started welcoming donations from crypto executives and investors as a very powerful lobbying group. So I think that kind of set the tone going forward. And now we have the president issuing issuing meme coins through World Liberty Financial, which is a crypto company that he established, or his family established, after he was elected president. You have today, even the president is hosting an event in Maryland in which holders of that meme coin, which is called Trump, obviously enough, are congregating to discuss crypto and the future of the industry with the president. And there's 25 people who are afforded special access to the president himself. They have all spent millions of dollars on this speculative asset that was issued by the president's company, World Liberty Financial. And there's a lot of concern from Democratic lawmakers about, what does this mean about currying favor with donors and affording special treatment and preferential access to certain people who pay top dollar for the president's crypto assets, and it's definitely unprecedented in modern history.
Yeah, and I really don't think it's an overtly political statement to say that we are seeing the blurring of lines between personal, political, business interests in a way we really haven't seen, at least in the modern history of the U.S. presidency. What is one component of the World Liberty Financial story, Sam, that alone, that you think we should be talking more about?
I mean, I just think the fact that, as tons of Democratic lawmakers are pointing out, and the fact that there are protests outside of this gala event today in Maryland, that the president and his family are profiting handsomely off of the sale of speculative financial assets. I mean, you look at all of the monitors of blockchain transactions. The president's company has netted close to $300 million in trading fees and sales since January. That is a massive amount of money. And, it's the same type of concept as accepting a jet from the state of Qatar. It's very, very obviously a transactional sort of dynamic he's established with various people across the world. And the thing about this event in Maryland today is that 25 people are afforded special access to the president himself based off the money that they spent on his meme coin, and they are unnamed. We don't know who they are. It's believed that many of them are foreign nationals. Like, what are their interests in discussing crypto with the president behind closed doors? There's no press allowed at the event. It's all very, very hush-hush.
Sam, when I was a Capitol Hill reporter, it was early enough in the era of cryptocurrency and blockchain where not every lawmaker in Washington was sort of read up enough about the topic to really speak about it. I think that's kind of changed over the last 5 to 7 years or so. But when I was on Capitol Hill, it was a bit of a bipartisan issue. You had the occasional Democrats like Ro Khanna, who were very good at talking about it and kind of held more of a nonpartisan stance. But it was people like Warren Davidson from Ohio, a lot of Republicans there. They were really at the forefront of trying to push for educating their colleagues about the broader space. And I would argue that maybe you've seen Republicans in the modern era be quicker to adopt some of these technologies, to try and embrace the cryptocurrency community. In your reporting, have you seen any sense of Republican lawmakers sitting there raising any type of flags about the arrangement of either the Trump or Melania meme coins, the World Liberty Financial, or the fill-in-the-blank scandal adjacent issue here?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been anywhere near as demonstrable as the statements that Democrats have issued. I did see that Cynthia Lummis, who's a pretty prominent crypto booster, Republican senator from Wyoming, said today's event gives her pause. That's kind of vague and mealy-mouthed in my personal opinion. But in terms of pushback from Republican lawmakers, no. I mean, we haven't really seen too much of that. And what we have seen, even during the 2024 campaign, is that Fairshake, this powerful lobbying group, didn't just donate money to Republicans. They financed a lot of Democratic candidates too. And Adam Schiff, who has denounced today's events and has also criticized Trump's crypto dealings, has accepted donations from crypto lobbyists. So it really does cut across the political aisle.
I'm glad you mentioned Fairshake, and you mentioned it earlier on the campaign. If I'm not mistaken, they did support some Democrats. Alyssa Slotkin comes to mind, Ruben Gallego comes to mind, but only after you had a bit of a pivot from Democrats who maybe in their previous terms in Congress had been a bit more skeptical of the crypto space. They somewhat 180 to now support crypto-friendly legislation, which then more or less led to the coffers being open. Is that a fair read of how that these enormous sums of money were spent on the campaign to elect candidates we have in Congress today, not just Republicans?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone involved in this lobbying blitz is wealthy, right? Or the people who are orchestrating it and calling the shots are wealthy. And I think they realized that they had some political agency and that they could influence lawmakers. And of course, lawmakers always want to present themselves as ahead of the curve and technologically fluent. So I think it was a way of, positioning themselves as tech savvy. A lot of our congressional leaders have a reputation for not being tech savvy. But this is a very powerful special interest group with lots of billionaire financiers like Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong is involved. So I think it became clear that advancing favorable policies for them could open up the opportunity for donations.
I'm about out of time, but for anyone who hears this interview and says, where are the regulators? What's your answer to that?
It's a good question. I mean, we've seen so many SEC investigations against big crypto companies dropped this year since Trump was sworn into office. The industry line has always been we want to collaborate with lawmakers and we want to be regulated. And while that is true rhetorically, that has been said repeatedly for quite a while by certain crypto leaders, it's kind of unclear what's happening. It's been kind of slow going. I mean, there's a bill on stablecoin regulation that I'm not sure if I don't think it's been passed, but that is the first sort of like shoe to drop on that front. However, there is still a clear lack of rules, and the SEC under Gary Gensler was regulating by enforcement, right? So they were suing and opening investigations for securities violations, whereas now those investigations are no more for the most part. So it's very unclear where this is all going in the regulatory space.
Yeah, well, I know that ending Gary Gensler's time at the SEC, that was top of mind. It was a top priority for a lot of longtime crypto enthusiasts. It's just, man, oh man, are we in a world with a whole new set of rules? I hope you'll continue to come back and have this conversation, Sam, because honestly, we need this type of reporting and we need your insight. Sam Blum is the senior writer at Inc. Sam, thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.